Alright, so I'm going to do a little video series of taking everyone through my beer brewing process. First one, I'm just going to show everyone my ingredients and my equipment setup and everything that you need to get started. This is all the grains that I got mixed and milled from local homebrew shop. This recipe is a oatmeal stout. I do 3-gallon brew-in-a-bag batches, so I have a nylon bag that I use that you could just keep washing out and using again. Sanitizer. This is the yeast I'm going to use. Whirlfloc tablets, which you use at the end of the boil. This one only calls for, it's not a very hoppy beer, so you only have one ounce of hops. Your airlock, some vinyl, some rubber tubing, and a siphon. There's an auto siphon so that you can siphon from one vessel to another. I actually use a bottling bucket here, and along with this strainer, when I take the grains from when they're soaked in the water after the mash, and I'll let them sit here and rest while I'm getting the water up to boil temperature. I have a 7-gallon pot that I use so brew-in-a-bag, you use the same pot for the mash and also the boil, so it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to buy 2 separate pots. So I slotted spoon just to stir it a little bit. I have a gallon container that I use just to measure it out. And finally, let's see, I have a kind of a homemade immersion chiller made out of copper tubing that has a little attachment for a garden hose. Makes it cool down the wort pretty quick. And I think lastly I have the 5-gallon glass fermenting vessel here that you would put the airlock on when everything's all done. So I'm going to first thing I'm going to do is start putting the water in, getting it up to mash temperature, which is about 160. Put the grain in, should drop down to about 154, and then I'll let it rest in the oven. I'll show that process once I get to it. All right.